Here, hold this.
Thank you.
That is
Looks like a magic wand.
a magic wand.
Yeah.
That is a magic wand, which begs the question, why do people call you the Magic Man?
I don't know if they do.
Well, hello there, and welcome to this episode of Here, Hold This, the moderately loquacious podcast about the things that what's it called? The moderately loquacious podcast.
Right. Yep. That's right. Where we
About life,
Yep.
leadership,
Correct.
and the things that we love. It's not hard, Ryan.
I know.
It's not hard. Well, hello, and welcome to this episode of Here, Hold This, the moderately loquacious podcast where we talk about life, leadership, and the things that we love. And today's special guest is none other than Ryan Zang. Listen to that. Listen to the audience. Ryan, they love you.
Yeah.
They love you.
It sounds like it.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan was a little nervous when he heard that we record in front of a live studio audience.
Right.
Ryan.
Right. Yeah.
But this isn't so bad, right?
Well, so far it's easy.
This is great. They love you. They love you.
Yeah.
Really.
Right.
Is my forehead shiny, Chris?
Now or all the time?
Like now. So Ryan, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Why don't you edify us by explaining who you are and who you are?
Okay. Ryan Zang.
That's you.
That's me. Born October 9th, 1977.
We're starting from the beginning.
Repeated the second grade. Not my fault, though. Not my fault. I started kindergarten when I was in fourth grade. You know, ridiculous. Who starts their kid in kindergarten in fourth grade? Anyway, yeah, today I am married. I'm fast forwarding now through the past 44 years.
Fair enough.
Yeah, married.
Yeah. Julie,
20 years.
20. She's 20 years old.
She looks like she's 20, Eric. She looks like she's 20, but she's not.
No comment.
She's not. No, married for 20 years. Married for 20 years.
Wow, you and Julie.
Yeah, been together for 30 years. Yeah, dated for 10 years before we got married. Yeah.
I'm doing the quick math.
Do the
on
math.
that.
Do
You
that
were
math.
fifth?
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Close.
Continue.
Anyway, 3 kids and live in Clarence.
Living in Clarence.
Living in Clarence. Yeah.
No, we have an international audience, so that to those not in the contiguous United States of America, that's in New York State.
Right. It's true.
Yeah. And how do you, when you're not with your wonderful wife Julie or your beautiful children, or being a fantastic guest on a renowned podcast,
Right.
how do you spend your time?
You mean, what do I do for a living? Is that what you're asking?
Sure, we'll go. Yes.
Sure. So, Eric, I work at the Zang Agency in Buffalo, New York. Well, actually, it's in Clarence Center, but we just say Buffalo. It's easier. And it is a third-generation company that my grandfather started in the 40s, and we sell electrical equipment. No, not light bulbs and switches.
Okay.
No. We sell. Do you want me to tell you what we do?
Like, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
10 seconds. We sell medium voltage switchgear and transformers.
Do you also sell universal power supplies or suppliers?
We sell UPS systems,
UPS.
uninterruptible power supply systems.
I was so close. I was so uninterruptible.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is so
I know.
close.
I know. Yes, we do.
Devil's in the details.
Right.
It's exciting.
It is. I've never, nobody's ever called me the magic.
Chris,
Yeah.
people, they do.
I'll Google his name.
The question is,
Right.
what is it like owning and operating your own business? And maybe you could say like a third generation family business. Mm-hmm. What's that like?
You know, it's humbling and it's rewarding. And it's also very exhausting.
Really?
All of those things.
Humbling,
Yeah.
rewarding, exhausting.
Yeah. All those things.
Simultaneously?
Sometimes, but usually at different times of the day or week.
Kind of popcorns
Yeah.
between humbling, rewarding,
That's right.
and exhausting.
That's right.
So speaking of exhausting,
Right.
have you ever pulled an all-nighter?
I have. I pulled a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, help us understand when you say you pulled a lot of them. What's a lot of all-nighters?
Well, I mean, in the 25 years that I've been doing this job, I would say on average, I would pull like maybe 10 all-nighters per year.
10 all-nighters per year.
Per year.
Chris, the way Ryan is holding the magic wand, is that covering his face at all?
No, I wouldn't have let it go on.
Okay, gotcha.
He
Okay,
was a face model, so
that's true.
I was being cognizant the whole time.
Can you just look in the camera?
Yep.
Just like kind of like give it a good, kind of like you're posing for a photo look. There you go. Now, could we get up against that, the photograph of his grandfather?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Because we feel like you look like
Herb?
a reincarnation. You're like,
Really?
you're like Herb reincarnated. And I've heard that you don't actually see it
I don't
when
see
you
it.
look at it. And it's like, so our audience, those watching along at home,
Right.
are going to be flabbergasted at the fact that you don't see the resemblance.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And I feel like that should be like I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Because like Herb was a good dude,
Oh, he's a great guy. Great guy.
right?
Yeah.
And you're here carrying on,
Right.
through, which has been passed through your father, Tom.
Correct.
Right? Who's also a really good dude,
Really good.
right? And you're carrying all that on, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So
We're
the fact
trying.
that you're like,
Yeah.
a little mini physical manifestation of Herb's kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
You think like Herb? No, I won't go there.
Get the pockets, bro.
Have you ever worked on vacation?
Oh yeah. Just ask Julie. She'll
Just
tell
ask
you.
Julie. Your wife of 20 years.
That's her. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You mentioned her earlier.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I've worked.
On vacation.
I have a lot.
Would you say that's part of the rewarding part of owning and operating a business? Is
No.
working on vacation?
No. I
Okay.
put it in the exhaustive.
That's in the
Exhausting.
exhausting category.
Yeah, correct.
So all-nighters, exhausting.
Correct.
Working on vacation,
Exhausting.
exhausting.
Right.
Okay. Have you ever... No, I don't want to ask that one yet. So, Ryan Zang, what's it like to have a last name that is onomatopoetic?
What does that mean?
Do you remember onomatopoeia?
I don't. Should I?
Onomatopoeia is when a word symbolizes, that's not the right word, but we'll go with it, a sound. So like oink, or meow, or roar,
Okay.
or chirp, or bang, or zang.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Your last name's a sound.
Is Zang a sound?
I feel like in comic books, saying's a sound, right? Zang.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And there's
yeah.
like a exclamation mark, and it's like in like a burst kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Lightning Man.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Yep.
Would you do us all a huge favor and attempt to spell onomatopoeia?
Really? Onomatopoeia. Does it spell the way it sounds?
Totally. It's
You speak
it's
Greek?
it's phonetic. Yeah.
O-N-A-O-O-M
Yep. Yes.
P
Nope.
O-N-O-M O. I don't know.
Onomati
Oh, never.
Opoeia.
I would never have gotten that one.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah, I'm not a great speller.
You're a good sport though. You're not a great speller. Great sport though. Great
decent,
sport.
decent speller.
You went for it.
Yeah, I went for it.
Love it. Great.
Just
Okay.
let me know when I should take my shirt off.
We will let you know when you should take your shirt off.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't worry.
I don't want to do it.
When it's time for you to take your shirt off, we will signal.
I just thought, like, hey, if you're going to work in a small business, family-owned business, you're going to do these things. You're going to do whatever it takes to meet deadlines, and you're going to work through your vacation, and you're going to get up at 5 in the morning while your family's still sleeping, and you're going to set up like a little office like right in the hotel bathroom, and you're just going to, work away until the kids get up at 8 and want to go to the beach. Yeah.
That's exhilarating. I mean, can you imagine? You picture that, right?
Yeah.
Like
I can picture because I've done it.
Towing
Yeah.
in the dimly lit hotel room.
Yeah.
Try not to trip over stuff. And
Yeah. I've actually slept on an air mattress in a hotel bathroom just so that when I wake up in the morning, I don't wake anybody up. And then I just get up and just start working right there.
okay,
Yeah.
that's legit in
Yeah.
a way. I mean, that
Sure.
shows some commitment, right?
Yeah. I guess so.
I'm going to judge that. So it sounds like now you feel like maybe that's those types of behaviors inside of your business and as it relates to your family maybe are not ideal. I'm hearing that maybe in your tone a little bit.
True.
But for so long, you did that stuff. How did you justify it or rationalize it? Or did you not?
No, I did. I had to survive. I had to compartmentalize it all. I had to tell myself that it was the only way to be able to go on vacation and get this work done. I thought it was the only way to meet deadlines and come through for customers was to pull all-nighters or do whatever it takes to achieve, success or accomplish what we set out to accomplish. So yeah, I rationalized that. But yes, you're correct. In my voice, you're hearing a tone that would say maybe there is a different way, and maybe I didn't have to do it that way. Yeah. So I'm trying to not do it that way anymore.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Feats of like strength or ingenuity with the thing that the guest is holding. Oh,
Yeah. So there was this person that I met who helped me look at things from a different perspective and start realizing through a bunch of conversations and some books that were recommended and some different exercises. I started to realize that actually the people that I'm working with, the people that are employed at the Zang Agency, they're actually phenomenal at what they do. And maybe they just weren't being empowered to do what they needed to do to help drive business the way that we needed it to. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of cool.
What made you decide to work with this person?
Well, I didn't set out to solve this problem because I didn't know this was a problem until I started talking to this individual.
What did you think was the problem?
Well, I thought I needed somebody to help me do some marketing. Specifically, I thought I needed a website. Well, I did need a website. And so I reached out to this individual to help me build a website because it was on my to-do list for 25 years and it hadn't gotten done. And I just felt like, man, we really need to get this done. Yeah. So I reached out to this individual and I said, hey, can you help me build a website? He said, yes, I can. But we need to have some other conversations too.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you want to know who it was?
We got to ask our live studio audience.
Yeah, go ahead, ask him.
Do we?
Go ahead.
It's an enormous live studio audience. Do we want to hear who it was? Do we want Ryan to tell us who this person was? I think we do.
It sounds like
I think we do.
It sounds like
they want to hear it. All right.
Actually, Eric, it was funny. It was you.
It was me.
It was you. It was you. And the team of the sea.
Oh.
Yeah. True.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
That is. I don't know how I missed that one.
Yeah. What did you think this was about today?
So you connected with us, connected with me.
I did.
Connected with, then through me, through my owner-operated company Of the Sea.
Correct.
And you thought you needed a website. You thought you needed better marketing.
Yes.
And it turned out that while that was true, when we started talking about your relationship with your business and why you felt you needed those things and where you were trying to take the business, certain things started to present themselves that were like, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
Right.
And it turned out that there was this other thing also happening simultaneously that I felt, if left unaddressed, you wouldn't really be satisfied.
Correct.
You'd build a website, you'd get some marketing, you get a better outer story for your business.
Right.
But your story as a leader, your team's story, the story of your culture, would not have evolved, let's say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's exciting.
it is.
So we have a team of producers and writers on the show, and they do a lot of research, a lot of background on our guests.
Right.
And they're telling me that you drive a Suburban.
True. I do. I do.
True. That's cool.
Right.
That's cool.
It's not magic.
But it's cool.
It's really cool. Yep. It's a modern day station wagon.
Now, we've been working together just about 2 years.
Correct.
Right? Your mindset at the very beginning of the process, what was that like? What did you think you were committing to? What were you expecting?
Sure. You know what? My mindset was a little bit closed, I'd say. Closed to the idea that we really needed to align our inner story with our outer messaging. Like, I didn't really even know what that meant when we started working together. But, you know, through a little bit of convincing, I decided to trust you and see where it went. But yeah, in the beginning, I definitely was closed-minded about the whole concept of doing it. And I don't want to say like this is an overstatement, but for a lack of a better way of saying it, I almost thought it was unimportant. What the work we were doing in the very beginning, I felt like this isn't as important as what I've got in my inbox right now, or what's sitting on my desk that I've been procrastinating on for months. But here I am talking about the inner story of Zang and the history of Zang and, you know, the vision of where we wanted to go. And so initially, you know, I was reluctant. I'm just being honest.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit of a leading question
Right.
because we had many conversations
Right.
because there was a disconnect.
Right.
But, and I applaud you for this, you actually decided to do it. You trusted me and the process. And in time, what changed?
Yeah. I mean, I did. You're right. I decided to trust you. You're very convincing, by the way, you know.
Very.
But no, you did say some really some important things that kind of caught me in the beginning. And, you know, as we started talking about some of these things, it got my wheels turning, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm not really sure what all this means and where it's going, or the value of it, or the importance of it right now. But what I do know is that I've been approaching work the same way for the past 25 years. And I don't want to say like we haven't been successful, because we have been.
We have been, absolutely.
But some of the things, some of the pieces of like the vision of where I wanted to take the company and what I thought the potential of it was, I didn't really feel like I was moving the needle in that area. Sales, yes, like our sales were growing. we've been doing well there. But again, like the vision and like those fleeting thoughts that have come and gone over the past 20, 25 years, I just didn't really feel like we were getting anywhere with that stuff.
You've used a term, and I think this term, and this is your term. This is Ryan Zang's term. Let it be known now and forevermore that Ryan Zang decided to come up with this term to describe kind of like the process that we were going through the coaching
Right.
that we were doing, right, in the consulting work, right?
Correct. Did he just kick the camera? I definitely needed to be deprogrammed.
I feel like that's kind of what you're starting to talk about, right? It's like you had a certain programming, operating kind of system mindset
Right.
that was very much in place.
Yeah.
And that was giving you a certain experience inside of your business, that was giving you a certain experience in your life.
Yes.
Your family, so on and
Yes.
so forth, right?
Yes.
And then you started to realize, it seems, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me if I'm not saying the right words here, that needed to be replaced. So there was deprogramming.
Right.
I remember sitting down for breakfast one day, because we do a lot of breakfast meetings, and you kind of said, it's like you're deprogramming me. And I've since been thinking about that. I'm like, what a great way to talk about the process in what's really going on. I talk about the idea of changing the story that you have about yourself as a leader, right?
Right.
As perhaps a son in a family business, as a husband, as a father, as a team member, so on and so forth. Changing the story to a story that is more in line with the outcomes. Did you do any research for this?
No.
Okay, perfect. Deprogramming to be able to then reprogram.
Right.
Right? Because you don't just deprogram.
Right.
You don't just wipe it clean.
Correct.
And this process is not like a wiping clean, because that's not a thing.
No.
And maybe you could talk a little bit about that the process, it'd be great if it was like this.
Linear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was something that was a hang up for you in the beginning, right? Like,
Yes.
what are the steps? Give me the roadmap. How do we go from boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, right?
Correct,
But
yep.
what was it more like, and what have you come to learn about that?
Well, you're right. It wasn't like a wiping of the slate clean. It wasn't like we're going to flip a switch. It wasn't one thing that you said where I was like, oh my goodness, I've been doing it wrong all these years. It really was like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing where along the way through a series of coaching and like the wisdom that you've shared with me, it's just been it's been eye-opening. And as my eyes have been opened, and I can like pick my head up from like the immediate urgent work that I'm doing every day, and I can pick my head up and I can start to think, and I can start to like get more clear in my head the vision of where we want to go. Only then was I able to realize that, okay, there is another way forward here, and that doesn't have to be just me with like as an owner operator with like a death grip that's on everything that comes into our company. Because and then just to touch on what you said about like what that experience is like at home, when you do that as an owner operator, and I know I'm sort of answering your question, but not solely.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
But as an owner operator, when you have like a death grip on everything that's happening within your company, so like you have to have your hand on everything, you got to touch everything, because it's not because you don't trust the people around you, or at least that's what you tell yourself. What you tell yourself, or what I told myself, is that I care so much about the outcome. I care so much about what we're telling people, the experience that customers are having, that I feel compelled to ensure that everything has my stamp of approval. If I'm not doing it myself, everything has to have my stamp of approval. I mean, ridiculous things too. The way that invoices are typed, the way that we respond to customers on simple inquiries. I'm literally finding myself typing emails, sending them to other people in my company saying, hey, here, you can reply using this. So just kind of some extreme stuff.
That's thorough.
Yeah, turns out too thorough. Too thorough.
Okay, that's not sustainable.
No,
Okay.
it's not sustainable. And so
This is what you do during an all-nighter.
yes, sometimes yes.
Yeah. Or this is what causes you to need to pull all-nighters because you still got to get all this other stuff around that only you could do.
Correct.
Right? Because
yeah.
you're doing your job and also turns out you're doing other people's jobs.
Yeah, unnecessarily. I was doing other people's jobs.
People who are very capable,
Very capable.
who you really like and love
Absolutely.
and do trust.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So
yeah.
it really isn't about them.
No.
It's more about us, right?
Yeah.
As leaders and our discomfort
Right.
in letting go.
Oh,
right?
totally. Yeah.
But so it's ironic, right? Because you get the opposite, right? You think you are, I don't know, that sense, that need for control or for whatever
Right.
you think is going to bless you,
Sure.
right? But it actually curses you, right?
Yeah. For a while, to a certain point, it works. It works. You have success.
Well, you did, yeah, you can do it for a long time.
Yeah.
And there is an actual level of success that you
Right.
can celebrate through that.
Right.
But then there's the well, how do I feel?
Yeah.
And what are the unintended consequences?
Right. That would be weird.
Let's be honest.
Yep. Right.
I shouldn't have even gone there.
No, but you did.
Can you talk about how your relationship with your business has impacted your relationship with your family? And since you have taken a different approach to leading your business, what has changed?
Yeah, those are good questions.
Thank you.
Yeah. You did prepare for this.
Just
wow.
a couple scribbles.
Couple
Just a couple
scribbles,
yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways that I could answer that question. So turns out when you're working 70 to 80 hours a week and you're doing it week after week, it turns out that when you go home, even though you're there, you're checked out because you're exhausted, because it turns out you're just I'm not Superman, right? So, so you can fake it for a long time, which is what I did I did the thing, I worked the long hours, but I always made an effort to get to everything, get to the sporting events, get to the extracurricular activities, be there, be physically present, but not necessarily emotionally present. And then, back at it at night, put everybody to bed and work for another 2 to 8 hours, depending on how much work still needed to be done.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I shouldn't laugh because
No, you can.
It's
because it's terrible and it's ridiculous. But I was so far, not to get stuck on this, but I was so far down that road and I didn't really realize the error of my ways. I just sort of thought hey, this is it. This is what owner operators do. And if we want to grow, if we want to get to the next level, I got to do more of it. All right.
you're gonna do great.
It's uncomfortable.
So what's it like now?
Well, so it turns out that even though your eyes get open and you start to realize that there is a better way, you can't undo what you did over the past 25 years. You can't undo it overnight. So
Right.
I'm in the process of going in reverse and trying to back out and do things a better way. But along the way, as I try to get back on the correct road, there's been moments where it feels different, right? So this past year, I went on multiple vacations, three vacations that I can think of right now. And on all three of those vacations, I actually sent an away message on my inbox. And I did not work while I was on vacation. It was great.
It's awesome.
It was,
How'd that feel?
it felt amazing. Really, it felt great. And my wife liked that too.
Julie liked it.
She did. She did.
Julie liked it. So you got positive feedback from Julie on you not working and focusing solely on her and the kids.
Yeah, it turns out she liked that I wasn't doing
women,
anything
they're
else.
so hard to understand, right? I'm a little surprised to hear that
I know.
she would be into that.
I thought she liked when I did emails on the beach. I thought she liked it.
You thought she preferred you sleeping on an air mattress in the washroom.
Yeah, I thought she liked that. Yeah. I thought she wanted to know that I was committed to the
Because then she could have
work.
the full bed and kind of do the starfish kind of like, right?
Correct,
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, no, the hotel beds are small. They say they're queens,
Yeah,
but they're not really queens.
They're like, they're queen-esque.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so positive feedback
Yeah.
from Julie.
Right.
How about the kids? Positive feedback from the kids?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been able to. I've gotten feedback from my kids that they've even said in so many words like, "Hey, Dad, you're not working a lot on this trip. What's up? Is everything okay?"
Like something must be wrong.
Yeah,
That's not working.
right. Like, are things going to change when we get home? Like, are we going to have to get jobs? You know, they were getting concerned. Right. No, positive feedback from them too. I mean, less on maybe like them noticing how much I'm working, but more on them just noticing that I'm more present. So yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for giving me this really weird thing to hold.
How has your relationship with yourself changed? If it has at all changed?
How has my relationship with myself changed? Is that the question?
That's the question. That's the question. Yeah, it's a deep one.
It is a deep one. I think I would answer it this way. I'm going to answer it this way. I've realized that I do have to take more time for myself, right? That me hiding behind my work or just burying myself in the work that we're trying to do at the Zang Agency, that alone, while important, is not good enough. Because what I found is that the company is somewhat limited. The future of the company, where we're going, is somewhat limited, or is very limited, I should say, to my capacity. So where I'm at in my career, after doing this for 25 years, is I kind of really feel like I'm at the top. Like, if we keep doing things that we were doing the way we were doing them for the past 25 years, we're at the top. Like, we're not going to grow anymore, because I feel like at this point in my life, I'm not getting any younger. And what I mean by that is, like, I can't do more all-nighters. I can't work more than I've worked over the prior 25 years. So if we don't change the way that we're doing things, we're not going to grow. But not only are we not going to grow, we're probably going to get smaller if we keep doing it the same way. Today, I'm realizing that if we're going to continue to grow, I've got to change the way that, like, I even treat myself. Like, I can't treat myself like that. I can't just bury myself in the work. I've got to take time for myself. And that time might be that I just need proper sleep, right? Like, turns out you cannot just do 4 to 6 hours of sleep, like, week in, week out, and expect that you're going to continue to grow your company and lead the company well. So I'm trying my hardest to get 8 hours of sleep a night, for real. And I'm also just trying to find time to invest in, like, other things that I enjoy. Like, here's a great example. I've been playing really, really bad golf since I was 14. So for more than 30 years, right? Yeah. And so recently, and now my son, who's 14 and he's about to be 15, Owen. Yeah. Ethan as well, though. They both love golf. Owen really loves golf, and this is what he wants to do. He wants to golf. And I thought to myself, hey, you know what? If I want to have a relationship with him and be able to do things with him, and now, but also as he grows into an adult, like, I need to figure this thing out, right? So I'm actually taking time now. Like, sometimes I even go during work. Like, I'm taking golf lessons. Yeah. And it turns out, like, if somebody teaches you how to do something, you can do it a lot better.
What?
Yeah. So in 30 years prior, I've never taken a golf lesson, but now I'm taking regular golf lessons. I get there, maybe once every other week. My swing has totally changed. I'm not slicing. I actually enjoy going to play golf.
It makes it more fun, doesn't it?
It does make it more fun.
More golf,
Yeah.
less chasing balls.
Yeah, it's fun.
Replacing balls probably more fun.
Losing balls, yeah.
Right.
So no,
Expensive.
It's very expensive, yeah. So I mean, that's just another example of the way that I'm, things that I'm doing now versus things I was doing before for myself. Trying to take better care of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
And I obviously celebrate that and commend you for doing that. And I've encouraged you to kind of like, it's not, again, all me. You've made the choices and whatnot, but because I firmly believe, and I think people, once you make that shift, realize that the way that you treat yourself really does matter. And if you want to be a better anything, you want to be a better father, husband, friend, business owner, leader, you have to make yourself better. You have to prioritize yourself. And it's not a selfish act.
No.
Right? It's not a selfish act. It's actually an act of love, right? Towards yourself, but also to the important people in your life, because you have a responsibility. They are counting on you.
Right.
And if you're not just unhealthy, but also miserable, right? Like, you're not probably going to be the best you, right?
Definitely.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks.
Can you mind telling us the story of the trip with Ethan?
The trip with Ethan. What trip was that? Did he tell you this story?
Ethan and I, he's in
He's 11.
sixth grade now?
He's a sixth grader.
Right. So
Yep.
Ethan and I are pretty tight. We text a lot.
Yeah.
No, you told me this story about the fifth grade camping trip
Oh, yeah.
that you had not been able to go on previously with previous children.
Correct.
And how you knew
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to do it if you didn't do it a certain way. And then
Yeah.
the feedback you got from Ethan as a result of that.
That's a great story.
Right, so go ahead.
I'm actually glad you brought that
Tell
up.
us the Ethan story.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the Ethan story. So, so the work that we've been doing, I've been communicating it at home with my wife, right, with Julie. And Julie, of course, is like on board. She's loving this idea of me being more emotionally present, getting more sleep, being more present, or being able to go on vacation. And so the first opportunity that she got to make sure that I was going to do that was for the opportunity to go on the fifth grade sleepover away camp for 2 nights. And so they're looking for chaperones. And without asking me, my wife just signed me up. And then she told me, she said, "Hey, good news, you're going to away camp with the fifth graders." And I'm
Julie,
like,
let's go.
I was like, okay. And, she's like, "You can put your away message up like Eric said." And I said, okay. So that was months ago. And then June came this past June 2024, and it was time to go on this trip. And to be honest with you, I was like, wow, this is going to be tough. Because even though prior in that 2024, I had gone on a couple of vacations and I set my away message, I was still able to cheat a little bit here and there. So I was able to stay connected. But if I needed to, I knew I had that option. But when I went on away camp for fifth grade, I knew there would be no setting up my computer. There would be no like checking emails. Like I was literally going to have to be away. And I'm going to tell you something. We went away on a Tuesday. And so we were gone all day Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday you pack up and you come home. Now I could have gotten back, don't tell anybody I work with about this. I could have gotten back on Thursday by noon to work and catch up on my emails. But that was the most unplugged I have ever been from work since I started working. Because I literally just put the away message up and did not check my emails, did not make any phone calls, because I really couldn't. I really just needed to be in the moment. And I wanted to make sure that, my son, Ethan, that like I made this time count for him. Like I didn't want him to see me over in the corner, like trying to send emails or walking off making work calls, right? Mm-hmm. There were dads doing that there, by the way. Of course there was. And a year ago, if I was on that trip, that would have been me.
In that club.
I would have been there. But instead, what I did is I did boondoggle. I went to archery. Kids were blown away.
You strike me as a boondoggler.
Well, it turns out I'm pretty good at it. Yeah.
But when the kids were blown away?
Archery. Yeah.
You're an archer.
Yeah, I crushed it.
What's up, Robin Hood?
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Let's go.
And I did a lot of canoeing. A lot of canoeing. Yeah, Ethan.
You've got
and
the shoulders for it.
Yeah, I do. Broad. Yeah. Yeah, no, but listen, to finish my original thought, I could have been back in the office by noon on Thursday, but I was so unplugged and so relaxed from those 48 hours of being unplugged that I did not go back to the office and I did not check any email or make any phone calls until the next day, Friday, because it was great. And yes, the feedback I got from my son when we got back and throughout the trip is that he had a phenomenal time. It was the best trip that he's ever been on. He enjoyed going. His favorite part was going on the canoe with me. It was good. It was really good. It was awesome. Memorable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
And from one dad to another, right? Like that is like a core, one of the most important things
Right.
we are here to do.
Totally.
And you were there to do it.
Yes, I
And
was.
you had a choice to make of whether you were going to show up as that guy,
Right.
as that dad, or as business owner dad, right?
Yeah.
You made and that's just like amazing. It's amazing. Like this might be one of my favorite stories, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. It's so good. I'm so proud of you
Thank you.
for doing that.
Thank you.
Seriously. Like,
Yeah,
that
buddy.
is like
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. No, it is amazing.
How good do you feel right now being able to tell that story?
Honestly, as I think back on it, I feel great about it. I do.
You should.
I do. Because you know why? Like I said before, a year ago, 2 years ago, I would not have even gone on that trip. And I would have missed out.
And you wouldn't have even known the difference.
Yeah.
Because you're in zombie mode.
Totally.
Right? So you would have been oblivious to it.
Oblivious, yeah.
But you would have completely missed out on this.
I would have.
Right?
I would have, yeah.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Should I keep holding this?
The name of the show
It's called Here.
is Here, Hold This.
All right, I'll hold this.
So yeah, so you're going to need to hold that.
Okay.
What advice would you give an owner-operator who feels stuck?
Boy, you're putting me on the spot now. What advice would I give an owner-operator?
You've got 2 years under your belt,
Stuck.
right?
Right.
You got some perspective.
Yeah.
Talking to yourself 2 years ago. Now,
Right.
what would you say?
You know, I think I would say this is being an owner operator. And also, I want to clarify something. It's not like I work with my dad, right? And so we've been over the past 25 years been working together, and so it's not as if I've been totally on my own by any means.
Of course not.
You know, I've had a lot of great conversations, and my dad and I, Tom, his name's Tom.
Yeah, Tom. Love Tom.
Yeah, Tom's great.
Tom's a good guy.
He has 3 BMWs.
TRZ.
Yeah, TRZ. Anyway,
Trisonomics.
Trisonomics, that's right. So
that guy.
yeah, TRZ.
Yeah.
You know, we spent a lot of time strategizing together, which has been great. And you know, there's still he's very technical. There's a lot of technical questions that I still ask him. So that's been great. But you know, probably from an operations standpoint, and he would say this if he was here, I've been mainly the person who's been like handling the operations of the company over the last 3 years. And I can tell you, that can be a lonely place sometimes, even if you do have like a Tom Zang in your corner. You know, trying to figure out where you're taking the company and how you're going to grow it and operating it and trying to be in charge of sales and everything else, that can be a lonely place. So the advice that I would give to other owner operators is find somebody that you can talk to. Find another owner operator, or maybe find like a third party, like a consultant, like a Of the Sea even, or somebody like Of the Sea.
Or you're our only client, and we want to do it that way.
Yeah, so not Of the Sea because they're taken, but there's probably other people out there.
But we could probably make some recommendations. Sure.
Honestly,
Sure.
before you and I started talking and before we started doing the work that we're doing, I don't know why, but I didn't even really know that, like, sure, I've heard of business consultants, right? But I never even really stopped to think, like, what does that mean? What do they do? I didn't even know there was somebody out there doing this kind of work. But again, that's just because the naiveness is a result of like just being so focused on like the urgent matters and like the task at hand and like being driven by my inbox and not taking the time to pick my head up, hear other ideas and other ways of, conducting your business and growing your business, and the value of having a vision on where you're taking it, which is one of the things that we've done, which has been great and helped us in a lot of the other work that we've been doing. Like I said, so buried in the work, I didn't even realize that all these other things, the value of them, I didn't even know that they existed. So my advice would be, find somebody that you can talk to about your business. Your business might not be the same. Like nobody else that I know is selling electrical equipment. It's very niche. But no matter how unique you might think your business is, it turns out you're an owner-operator, and there's a lot of other owner-operators out there, and there's people who know how to work with you, work with owner-operators, and there's a ton in common that you'd be surprised when you start talking about the challenges of operating. You'd be surprised all the common ground that you're going to find. Yeah.
Oh, that's great advice.
That'd be my advice.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
I would take that advice.
Yeah, I think it's pretty wise. It sounds simple, but it's wise. It's wise.
And for you, it's worked.
It has worked. It's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not done yet. The work we're doing is not done. We're still working.
Yeah. It's we talk about the never-ending pursuit of ever-expanding potential. That's what potential is about, right? There isn't really like a line in the sand on potential.
Right.
It's hopefully an expanding, moving line that you can continue to chase.
Right.
As you learn more about who you are, what you're capable of, and getting better.
Absolutely.
At doing what you do.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's excellent.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
And so just to close, so like you thought you needed a website.
Yeah.
So just remember that, right?
Yeah.
And you got all of this stuff. You got a great canoeing trip with Ethan.
I did.
Which you probably didn't expect.
I didn't.
You didn't think that's what we were going to be doing.
No.
And I didn't know specifically that would be an outcome. But I will let you in on a secret.
Tell me.
I was intending to help you see how perhaps how you were doing things might not be giving you what you really wanted.
Yeah.
In your family.
Yeah.
Because you gave some clues in our early conversations.
Yes.
That made me think. And the reason why I knew that is because I'm an owner-operator.
Right.
Who's a husband and a father.
Right.
And I've done all of the stuff. Okay, no, I have not slept in or set up a mobile office, in a washroom, in a hotel room. I have not done that.
Oh, man.
But short of that,
to write a passage,
I've pretty much done all the other stuff that you've talked about as well.
Yeah.
And it's just not a great way to fly.
It's
right?
not.
And it's not what I wanted.
Right.
But it's what I was doing, and it's what I was receiving as a result.
Right.
And so part of my mission is to help people like us,
for sure,
recognize that and find the courage to make that change.
Right.
Because it's totally possible.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as an out-of-office message, but it's not much more complicated, actually, sometimes than a solid out-of-office message.
Right.
With a team that you can trust.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's the key.
Yeah, we'll handle that in post.
Yeah.
We'll handle that in post.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So this is the point as we wrap up the interview.
Okay.
Where Chris brings in the wheel.
Oh man, the wheel.
Yes. Yes.
Oh boy, I'm nervous about the wheel.
You should be.
Okay.
Most are. You're in great company.
Good.
Yes. Yes. Okay, just 1 second, buddy. I gotta get that shine. Gotta get that shine. I meant to do this earlier.
Is he being real right now? Wow.
Yeah. This is very sophisticated, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels.
You
like
can see that it's
like
high
a Wheel of Fortune type
quality
of,
construction. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is handcrafted with love. Chris makes this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I should go ahead and spin.
So what you're gonna do? Yeah, you're gonna spin this, and as you can see, there's a series of questions. Right. Your closing question will be selected by the dum-dum that you. Well, I guess this is technically Charms Mini Pops, and I should say that Charms Mini Pops has not sponsored Here Hold This. So go ahead and give that a maybe a practice spin, just kind of see how it works. Oh, you got to pick back up. You got to pick the wand back up though. You can't set down the wand. You got to hold the wand still. Yeah. See, look at that, just like that.
It's
right?
that easy.
It's that easy.
Oh, that thing's falling.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yep.
Cool.
As you can see, quality construction. We might want to find a pencil.
We got one spin here. We got one spin.
Eraser.
One spin.
I got it. All right, give that a whirl.
Okay. Oh.
It's got to wait. Yeah, there you go. And it is 7. Question 7.
Oh, good. Is this the first time you guys have done this?
Yes.
It feels first time-ish.
How has uncovering and embracing your purpose made a difference?
How has uncovering and embracing your purpose made a difference?
Boy.
We saved the easiest one for last.
Yeah. So in some of the work that you and I did, we spent some time at Zang World Headquarters, and also at various other breakfast places around town. And one of the things that we figured out is that the purpose of the Zang Agency is to provide the fastest answers to the toughest problems. And that might sound vague and kind of like a general concept, but really it resonates with the work that we do. And I want to explain what it means really quick in the context of Zang, but then I'm going to tell you why that's made a big difference. Okay. So like in the context of Zang, again, what we do is we sell electrical equipment, we sell custom electrical equipment, and we just live in a world today where it's become incredibly difficult to get electrical equipment. And we don't have to go into all the reasons as to why that is right now, but the need for the equipment hasn't changed, right? So like our customers, whether they're electrical contractors or they're renewable developers or they're end user customers, their need is the same. But the availability for the product has changed tremendously. In addition to just supply chain issues and availability and construction schedules that are, ever demanding and not realistic. In addition to that, what we have in our industry, and people have been saying this since I've been working in the industry, which is 25 years, industry experts, the electrical industry, they've been talking about like the day coming where there would be no more workers, where all of the knowledgeable, talented people that have been working in the industry for years, they were going to start retiring. And I often tell people that this story that when I started working in the electrical industry in 1999, I was the youngest person. And now in 2024, I'm still the youngest person. That's an exaggeration, but really there are not a lot of young people in our industry. So again, supply chain issues, but also just, we're in this place now where there's fewer and fewer people who really have the knowledge and experience to understand how to solve customers' problems, like what do they really need, but also where to get them, right? So we have that on one end, and then on the other end, we have, again, like I mentioned earlier, just this demand, this unrealistic demand for schedule, right? So that's where we come in because we have, we've been in business since 1948, and so we have 76 plus years of experience. My dad's been in the business for more than 50 years. I've been in the business for more than 75 years. And then we've got pretty tenured staff too, other people that work with us. And one of the things that we've figured out over the years, not by accident, but intentionally, is we need to broaden our vendor network. We need more vendors because every vendor we've realized has like their special sweet spot, their niche. And so we've learned over the years, not only to be able to look at our customers' problems and decipher what they need quickly, but the more important piece to that is we know where to go get the equipment or to get the solutions built for our customers, right? So that's a long way of answering or explaining to you what that purpose means. Again, the purpose the purpose of Zang is the ability to provide fast answers to tough problems. And so why is it important to know that? And again, it sounds like a really simple thing. it's important to know that because in our organization, we want to make sure that like our vision, where we're going to take the company is aligned with what our purpose is. Like, what are we really good at? And that's what we're really good at. And so when we think about the future and where we're going and how we're going to get there, knowing what our purpose is and knowing like our secret recipe on how to get things done, identifying that helps us like put plans in place to strategize on how we're going to make our vision a reality. I don't know. Do you want me to hold it like that?
Can you twirl it?
How long can you hold it like that for?
I don't know. See if I can do it the whole time.
So you always had this purpose.
Correct.
It was always in your DNA. It was always this driving force for you. But you didn't necessarily identify it as such, isolate it, and you didn't know how to talk about it.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
It's true.
So then when you were able to identify, isolate, and give it language, right, the fastest answers to the toughest problems, it inspired you to say, well, how do we do that? How might we get even better at that, do that even more?
Correct.
As we're thinking about the future of this business and the future of this business in this industry and marketplace, how do we leverage this unique, special thing that we have that our competitors don't have?
Right.
They sell what we sell, perhaps, but they don't do what we do.
That's well said.
So then when you realize that, you could then use that to inspire the vision, which you mentioned.
Correct.
And I remember we really worked through the vision.
Yes.
And if you have to, it's an iterative process. And there was I remember one morning at Marty's over breakfast, it just kind of like popped for you that you're like, whoa, what if we figured out how to take this secret sauce thing and build the future business around it? Instead of it just being a thing that kind of naturally is just happening as it happens, we strategically build the business around it. Would it give us a strategic advantage in our marketplace? And the answer was, we think it would.
We think it would.
And that was a pretty exciting moment.
It was.
And now the work is to do it, operationalize it in a scalable, repeatable fashion.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yep.
So the difference it makes is this clarity that leads then to inspiration, ideation, possibility. So when we talk about what's possible, what's our potential goes from maybe our potential's here.
Right.
Maybe it's out here now.
Absolutely.
We still got to do it. We still got to figure out how to do that. It's not like, it's not magic.
No,
right?
no.
But
I'm magic.
You're magic.
Yeah.
It's not magic.
No, it's not.
Right?
It's not.
Did I have that right?
Yeah, you nailed it. That's exactly
That's
correct.
exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
And it's exciting to be doing this work with you.
Thank you. You don't like to sit this close to you?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Thank you,
exciting to have you join us here in studio in front of our audience.
Absolutely. Thank you, audience.
And
Thank you, Chris.
say it one more time. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're doing great work. You're doing the work. I'm here to encourage. I'm here to point things out, to show you perhaps some things, right? But it's really up to you to do the work. And you're doing it. And that's why it's working, right? So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing where this goes next.
Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Zang, the Magic Man.
Great. We did it.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And cut. I mean, I can see why they call you the Magic Man, by the way.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it now.
Yeah, no,
It
for
wasn't
sure.
clear at the beginning of this
Yeah.
interview, but now I get it.
It's not clear to me, but
Yeah, well, I think
yeah,
it's all clear to
to everybody out there.
everyone else.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. That was fun.
Great.
Great.
All right, let's record this one. Let's do it. You ready?